Because if you analyze how Avenir units have been sold, they tell me that primarily the buyers at Avenir are buying for own stay. Why? Because the sales chart comes from top down. It's very, very interesting. Most developments, new launches, you go in, the sales chart go from bottom up, or maybe in the OCR, it goes like some on top, some below, some on top, some below. But on Avenir, it's very, very obvious people are buying from the highest floor down to the lowest floor. And so let's move on to the reviews proper, okay? We're gonna start with District 9, like the show, right? District 9 lah. And we are starting first with one of our favorites developments in District 9, Avenir. The former Pacific Mansion, so it's located in River Valley Close. So again, if you are watching us and if you're watching the replay, I'm going to assume that you guys already know about the development, which is why you're looking for a review of it. But don't worry, in case you don't know, I wouldn't spend all your time talking about the very minute details. Those you can scan the QR code in the next two slides and you can find that out, right? I just want to touch on the more important points. Tenure is a freehold development developed by two of Singapore's biggest guys, Hong Leong and Guocoland, both also famous for high-end developments. It was launched in January 2020. In case you guys forgot, that is right smack before the COVID lockdown. Okay, and that kind of explains why Avenir sort of had a very slow start to life lah. And that time when everything else started to pick back up again, Avenir took a while to come back, and the people that went there to see at that point in time were very concerned, like, hey, why everything else is moving but Avenir is not moving? But you know what? Good value stuff don't last for long. Fundamentally strong projects don't remain unsold for long. Today, 89.36% sold, and we are maybe 3 years out from its launch. Also factoring in 1 year being basically taken up by COVID and everything. Expected TOP is Q3 2025, right? Because this is District 9 again, we said, right, District 9, not much of good schools within the area. The best school one of the best schools in District 9 really is already River Valley Primary School. That's within 1 km of Avenir, as a matter of fact, right beside Avenir. So like I said, I wouldn't be going into too much details on the project. That's not the topic for today. But if you need information on the project, how much do the units cost, land size, and all those stuff, just scan the QR code and you can pop into the website to take a look at it.
Hello, sorry to interrupt. We'd like to take the opportunity to thank you for watching the video and also to share why we do what we do. Is to empower consumers with hard facts and figures, quality research and real-life examples to allow them to make the most informed property decisions. So if you found our videos useful, the only thing we ask for is for you to smash that like and subscribe button so that the YouTube algorithm can push out our videos to more consumers. Thank you, and back to the video.
So now let's talk about some of what I feel are the important information, right? 376 units. You guys know we are very, very sensitive to this kind of numbers. The breakdown of the units, okay? 69 one-bedders, 69 two-bedders. The two-bedders are of the size of 800 to 829 square feet. So now, maybe at this point, it's good for me to put things into perspective. The average two-bedders in that area used to be about 1,000 square feet. Okay, so Avenir, in terms of product mix, is following quite closely to Martin Modern. Product mix meaning how the unit sizes are done. Of course, Martin Modern doesn't have one-bedders, which is why actually the one-bedder over at Avenir, if you have a good enough budget, you like the area, you have a good enough holding period, it's something really worth considering because there's very little competition of similar fundamentals, big development, luxury development, large land size, large number of units, okay? 376, you may say like, not a lot, but in the River Valley area is considered very good. 3 bedders, 1141 square feet all the way up to 1572 square feet. Okay, so on the 3 bedder part, if at the 1141 square feet ones, it is still quite a fair bit smaller than the 3 bedders of old, right? The 3 bedders of old are closer to 1,005, 2,000, 1,008 to 2,000 square feet if you look at like Martin Place, if you look at Rivergate lah. The 4 bedder ones, the 4 bedder units are actually the interesting ones. Similarly to the 1 bedders, the 4 bedder supply in the area is very, very low. And even when it's low, the sizes are also very big. So I do see a gap over there in certain product offerings over at Avenir compared to the neighbors. And that is important because Avenir is not cheap. Okay? 3,210 PSF is not cheap by any measure, okay? So you need to be able to visualize your exit, you need to be able to compare them well to the neighbors so that you wouldn't just eliminate it as being too expensive, okay? Buyer profile, okay, so this is what I was mentioning earlier on. So remember, for those of you who were with us in last month's live, in District 10, the development mix now is on average 70 plus to 80% Singaporeans. Right? Over at Avenir, that percentage drops to 47.6% Singaporeans, and with the other half being 1/4 being PR and another quarter being foreigners. Now, how is this going to play out in terms of the price trajectory, the potential, the future for Avenir? Let's talk about it later on because I have this as one of the points as the 3 things we like and don't like, okay? Now moving on to the 3 things we like about, moving on to the 3 things we like and don't like about Avenir. So 3 things we like, okay, so number 1, the size of the development. Now if you look at the River Valley area, so some people may say, hey, Alvin, River Valley area, there are actually quite a fair bit of numbers, developments that lose money. If you go and Google like loss-making transactions, top 10 loss-making transactions, River Valley is pretty well represented in those lists most of the time. But do bear in mind, large developments in River Valley, and I talk about large in terms of land size and in terms of number of units. In River Valley, I would think above 200, above 300 units, I would classify them as large developments in River Valley one. Those developments always do well. It's like a surefire bet to do well in terms of capital appreciation potential over in the River Valley area, so which is why that's something that I like. And also why they do well is because they are very, very rare. A lot of the especially freehold developments in River Valley, legacy plots, all last time used to be big plots, developer chop them up and sell them as small plots. So there are a lot of small boutique developments, developers that keep large plots to sell large plots being redeveloped, very, very little, okay? So that is one, perhaps the single biggest reasons why we like Avenir for that. Number 2, and so from number 2, let me go into the H prop, or let me go into URA master plan to share a bit with you guys. So for a lot of us, we look at River Valley and we may be thinking, wow, it's really quite full. The area, like not much space left to build new stuff. So now let me go over here, go to the master plan. Okay, so this is Avenir over here, right, with the land, with the plot ratio of 2.8. And so over here, this is the new Great Wall MRT. What a lot of people are unaware of is that there are empty plots around this Great Wall MRT that's yet to be sold. We have this one over here. Okay, so now, if you notice, this is sitting right on top of the Great Wall MRT. So it's likely to be sold as a, but this one is full residential lah, but it's going to be super duper convenient. And the government, again, is extremely strategic in how they have planned for this. 3 plots, okay? I'm looking at this one over here, this one here, also future residential plot. 3.5 plot ratio, 3.5, Avenir is 2.8. So again, we have another 3.51 over here. So 3.5 is mixed use, ground floor, commercial, top floor, and whatever is above being residential. So these 3 plots is one of the reasons why I like Avenir so much. Okay, we have this huge 2.8 plot ratio development over here, and this will be Yong An Park. Okay, right, this one don't have, correct? Don't have, I remember. Yeah, just want to double check. So this is Yong An Park. And Yong An Park is super low density. But I don't know if they are going en bloc anytime soon, because I feel the owners there will find it hard to find a replacement unit of their kind of size. Their units are humongous. But again, it will be a matter of time before it goes en bloc as the entire development deteriorates. So eventually this is going to come up as well, and honestly that's just going to make Avenir as a plot look so much more attractive. Okay, and they are definitely going to set the new benchmark prices one. Definitely our friend over here, this 3.5 plot ratio, ground floor commercial, second floor residential one will be the price setter. If you want me to guess, the government will release the plot in this order. This one first, followed by this one, and then the last one will be this one. If I were to give the government, and I see how the government do it, that's what they do. They always launch the furthest away one first, the lousiest one first, then they launch the second one, and then the third one. This particular plot, another interesting thing, very narrow, and it's east-west, running down the east-west, maybe not east, like primarily it will be either east or west facing. So this plot will be quite interesting for developers to work with, but you know what, they're going to make it work lah. So this is why I do like the Avenir area in terms of there's actually quite a lot of empty plots there that's yet to be sold yet. The other point that I wanted to talk about is the strong resale support. So again, now we are swapping back again to the website. So what do I mean by that? Our neighbors, right, similar size big freehold developments are Rivergate and Martin Place. Right, they are decently sized. So over here, Rivergate, very, very popular development, 545 units, and we only have 14 units for sale. Okay, we see 3 bedders here fetching $4.5 million. 3 bedders at 5,000 square feet, 5 million. 3 bedders, 4 million. You know, I believe quite a fair bit of these are duplicated. 4 bedders at 6 million. So it's nothing cheap over there. 4.5 million cheapest unit in Rivergate. Go over to Martin Place. Martin Place do have slightly smaller units, but I believe they are 1 bedder. It's their 1 bedder that is fetching 1.6 million, which is actually very similar in price points to some of our neighbors, or even within Avenir. Yeah, 2,700 PSF Avenir now because it's a little bit higher. 2 bedders at 3 million, yeah, which makes the entry prices of 800 square feet. So 800 square feet, 2 bedder, even if you come in at 3,000 PSF, that's 2.4 million. This guy over here is already 3 million because it's a 1,444 square feet 2 bedder. Okay, so you get what I mean. Now, next question would be, this kind of prices got people buy meh? Then we need to take a look at transactions lah. So you can see just in this year alone, 2022, second half of the year alone, 2022, we already have 10 transactions over at Rivergate, and this is the kind of PSFs that they are fetching, and this is kind of quantums they are fetching. So you see healthy transactions like that with not many units for sale, you know the demand there is high, okay? Which is why the third point with which, the third reason why we like Avenir would be the strong resale support, right? Resale data support in that area telling us demand is strong. People are willing to pay for that area. And even though there's a lot of condos in that area, it's not oversupplied because the old supply is very, very big and the new supply is more affordable. In terms of quantum lah, okay, yeah, later I say affordable, 2.4 million, 2.5 million dollar, 2-bedroom, 3,000 PSF is affordable, and people flame me. Okay, 3 things why we don't like, okay? So like just now what I said, for only 47%, only 50% of Singaporeans are owners over there. So why I put this as one of the reasons why we don't like. I've always said that a high percentage of Singaporeans within the development shows because Singaporeans are sort of vested to stay within the condo, they are not very flaky in terms of their staying power. That the high number of Singaporeans do tell me that prices will be a bit more stable in a development. And also because I took reference to like the Resale, Marina Bay Residences, Reflections at Keppel Bay that had high number of foreigners, even Marina One, high number of foreigners, causing prices to drop a fair bit. Pardon me as I try to link my thoughts together. But yeah, so now, it's then again a chicken and egg kind of thing, okay? So if you are a Singaporean moving inside, you can also see it as I have a quarter of my neighbors paying PRs, assuming it's their first property, 5% ABSD. I have a quarter of my neighbors being foreigners. So regardless, they are paying 30% ABSD. So they are paying 1/3 of the price more than you. You enter 3,000 PSF, they enter 4,000 PSF. So of course, you may think that, but for me how I would think last time is that, but if they are like Malaysian, and if the ringgit continues on its trajectory like it is now, and becoming like 1 Sing dollar to let's say 4-5 ringgit, the guy doesn't really have to sell at a much higher price. He can even maybe sell lower than what he bought at and still potentially make money from FX gains, FX differences. Or if let's say the macro economic circumstances change, they may choose to liquidate this and move to another country, then leaving you sort of high and dry with transactions then plunging. But why is it to me not going to be a deal breaker for Avenir? Is because if you analyze how Avenir units have been sold, they tell me that primarily the buyers at Avenir are buying for own stay. Why? Because the sales chart comes from top down. It's very, very interesting. Most developments, new launches, you go in, the sales chart go from bottom up, or maybe in the OCR, it goes like some on top, some below, some on top, some below. But on Avenir, it's very, very obvious people are buying from the highest floor down to the lowest floor. Now, are these folks investors? Do investors buy from the highest floor to the lowest floor? The answer is no. They really want to buy for their own stay. So on that note, perhaps the difference here between Avenir and let's say Reflections, Marina One, Marina Bay Residences, for example, maybe the fact that on that side, primarily the foreigners were buying it for investment. They may not have been staying there. But I feel for Avenir, they were buying for investment because of how they were choosing their units. Okay? Number 2, what I perhaps don't quite like, and this is maybe on a more personal basis, not very convenient in terms of if you want to buy affordable food, if you want to buy, if you want to go to a supermarket also lah, it's a bit of a walk, right? Most of them you would then have to drive. Of course, plenty of F&B options in Robertson Quay, but the kind of food that they serve in Robertson Quay is not what you and me eat every day lah. Huh? So yeah, amenities in the River Valley area not that fantastic. At least in the close proximity to Avenir. If you look a little bit bigger, you do have Great World City. You're not too far from Orchard Road, not too far from Somerset. Thereabouts, right? So point number 3 would be, like I mentioned, 3,200 PSF. Not going to be cheap. You're going to be the highest PSF setter in that area. So if you do have a short-term horizon, perhaps not the most fantastic option for you. But if you have a slightly longer holding period, we have that strong resale support to show you that people are willing to pay 2007, 2008, 2009 PSF for resale properties in that area already. So now even though you are 3,002, if you can still buy in at a quantum, right, that has already been hit in the resale market, then maybe it's not wrong and it may be okay to buy in at the new benchmark pricing. Again, why do I say this? It's because let's say you go into the OCR and you buy in at benchmark pricing. Because the products at the OCR are so similar, a 10-year condo, 3-bedroom, 1,000 square feet. A brand new condo, 3-bedroom, also 1,000 square feet. But you buy the new 3-bedroom, 1,000 square feet, paying at benchmark prices, let's say 2,500 PSF. You're going to face a lot of objections in the resale market, of course, other than age alone, right? Why should somebody be paying you so much more for your particular unit? Switch over here, for example, a 2-bedder, 800 square feet Avenir, let's say 3,200 PSF, 2.5 million dollars, right? But the resale next door, Rivergate, 1,000 square feet, even though it's 2,700 PSF, 2,500 PSF, almost the same price as you already, right? If they want to push a bit higher, then that's where you are not at so much of a disadvantage in this circumstance as compared to the example I mentioned earlier.